Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. And today is a very special day because I have a guest.
Hey there.
Welcome, everybody. Well, my name is Alfredina, in case you're new. And this
My
is
name is Jorge Coxa, and I am
my husband.
her husband.
Yay! He's going to be popping in and out of my channel because we love talking together. And we are going to be sharing our new journey with you guys as much as we can and with the purpose of informing. And that journey is foster care.
We're becoming foster parents, and we're going through the process of getting licensed for foster care and opening our homes for that purpose. And we've been wanting to talk about it and to share with the community what it's been like and what we've been going through and what we've been thinking and what we feel and all of that. So that's what we're going to do today.
Yes. Today, the idea for the video came because this morning was our very first home study. Now, today is not going to be a very technical day where we're going to tell you step by step what you need and what you don't, mainly because depending on what state you're in, things may be a little different. And because we don't know if you're interested. If you are interested, if you're curious, if you want to know, let us know and we can make specific videos on those things. But today, we were just going off in conversation about...
Well, I was thinking about the process that we've been going through, and in order to get the first visit, we had a whole checklist of things that we needed to get ready. And I realized that in order to get those things ready for the kids to be able to come to our home and to be able to help them, we had to get our house ready first. So I mentioned to Alfredina, and I said, you know, it's interesting how before we can reach out and help someone outside, we have to first get our stuff together inside. So the process that was very clear was we have to clean our house, then beautify our house, and then prepare the house. Make it safe for ourselves.
Make it safe for children. It's a long list of stuff we have to do. Let's put aside the fact that we have 2 children.
Right. You know, there's things that we hadn't considered before, like having something as simple as a fire plan. You know, you should have a plan with like images of your house and the layout of your house and how every room should be exited should there be a fire. And
there should be 2 exits in every room.
Right. And those are things that I never considered. I mean, I grew up hearing that in school, but it's something that I never put into practice. But
not at home.
Because of this process, we've had to get on that. And there's deadlines to meet. And it's been holding us accountable, not just to getting the home ready for other kids, but getting the home ready for our family.
Yes. And that brings me to a parallel that I think that a lot of us don't consider. And it's that when we help others, we can't do it without first helping ourselves. Like our kids' rooms are better. The way we're decorating is better. The way we're running our house is
We painted
smoothing.
the kids' room for the first time in like forever.
Ever. Like we're always talking. We are so indecisive. We're like, should it be blue? Should it be gray? Should we do white? Should we do this? And we've legit been living in this house for almost 3 years, wanting to like paint the whole house, and not. All we did was one hallway because we can't get past what are we going to do. But because we're bringing kiddos, we're doing these things, we want the house to not just be safe and comfortable and good. We want it to look beautiful. We want it to look inviting. Suddenly, everything is just clicking and we're making decisions. So in order to help somebody else, we are being benefited. We're making our little nest even more comfortable for us.
Yeah. I think that for me, it was things like I didn't want to go through all of the steps because I'm very meticulous when I paint. It's just that's the way I learned how to paint, and so I take like painstaking steps to make sure that the paint job looks great.
Anxiety-inducing steps. He takes taping to another level.
So I go and I tape every edge, every doorknob, the top, the bottom, the sides, and because I want to make sure that when I'm painting, I have room to make mistakes, because I'm going to make mistakes, and I'm putting a lot of paint on the roller so that it's a big, thick, even, nice coat. So I'm taking a lot of steps to do that, and I think that held me back to actually just painting the room. And while I was doing it, I was remembering, first of all, your voice in my head, which was just like, "Oh, you're driving me crazy," just
My sweet voice.
just
What?
get to it already. No, it's
Never,
not like
not
that.
me, ever. No.
But also something I heard recently on a YouTube video about podcasting from a YouTuber called Pat Flynn, and he said a lesson that he learned from someone else. He said, "If this were easy, what would it look like? If it were simple, what would it look like?" And so I started thinking about that while I was preparing to paint, and that actually helped me get out of my head, because on the one hand is being meticulous and being cautious and being ready, but on the other hand it's procrastination. And I think that identifying that line was crucial for not just that project but any project. So
Everything else
Yeah.
that has to get done.
yeah, so I started thinking, what would it look like if it was easy? What would it look like if the painting of the room was just easy? And how would I do it? And so I began doing that, and I was able to paint the room in much faster
Much
time.
faster. Much faster.
Yeah,
Within
so-
a day, we had everything cleared out of the room, painted, cleaned, dried, and everything, all the new furniture in, and things up on the wall. Everything was done in one day. So that's
Yeah. Yeah.
so happy. So proud of you.
Thank you.
You could be done.
Feeling good.
Yes. But
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. I was just going to say, like, that is so interesting that we would be willing to do that for someone else.
Yeah, and
We-
I think that it's not just someone else though. I think it's also something else. Like, before it was like, oh, let's paint the room, and there was no real like, we're going to need to have it done by this time, or we're going to need to have it done for this purpose. It was like, we're just gonna paint the room because we want to paint the room. Maybe not. But having a very clear defined purpose made it so that painting the room was a necessary step. So I think that that's a big takeaway from this, which is define a purpose. In this case, for us, it was fostering something that really meant a lot to us as a family and as a marriage, as a couple. And then with that defined purpose, then set out to do things.
And it's not, disclaimer, we're not saying that you have to go and paint your entire house if you're interested in foster caring at all. What we're saying really is that we came in this and we have a clear purpose. We want to help kids. We want to be a safe haven when the world is not at their best. It's a scary time, it's a scary moment in their lives for whatever reason, and we want to be a part of giving a home and a loving place to stay, and people who are gonna just love them and take care of them for whatever time they need. And that just really moves us. That gave us purpose. And when you have purpose, things move in your life from the getting by and like, we don't really need that, and not really putting forth the effort, to really getting off of your behind and putting in more effort than you thought that you even wanted to at the beginning.
I mean, we
doing
stayed
it
up till
happily.
really late, and we were happy doing it.
If you know me, like TikTok, I am looking for my bedtime. I don't function at night.
true.
That doesn't happen, and I don't function the next day when I don't get my time. Not just the same amount of hours, but like I had to go to sleep early too.
Yeah.
Like I'm horrible at this, but I wasn't. Yes, I was tired, but I wasn't dying. I wasn't like, oh my God. I had purpose. I was moving towards something that I really, really want,
Yeah.
and it just got done.
Yeah, having a destination, having a goal, that's what's going to drive the energy, because it gave me the energy. I didn't feel tired. And disclaimer, I am the night owl in this relationship. I thrive at night when I'm most awake. But So they're
We have
but
like 2-3
it is-
hours of interaction because it's like I'm up in the morning and I'm going, and it takes him half the day to fully wake up and be engaged. And by the time he's up and engaged, a couple of hours later, I'm winding down, and I'm just like, whoa, I'm just barely making it to bedtime. So there's very few times where these two ships meet, and we're like, yeah, we're good, we're here. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I am more productive in the morning when I do get a full night's rest and I'm down to a good routine, which is important. The energy, I didn't feel tired, and we didn't even fight building the bunk bed because we're building a new bunk bed for the kids' room, which was a major issue for us, building furniture. And I know that that's not just for us, it's like also for other couples. But building furniture together, who's going to read the instructions, who's going to do what, that was always an issue. But we did it without fighting.
Yes.
We had a good attitude because what we were aiming for was so much bigger than. I mean, that's how I see it. I
Yeah.
see that perhaps it was the fact that we were aiming for this thing that was so much bigger than us that we could put aside anything else. Nothing else mattered in that respect, so that we could accomplish this.
Yeah. And we're seeing that of our kids as well. They're walking around their days, and that they went from not sharing a room to being perfectly fine with having a room. And we had the caseworker at home, and our oldest son comes by and he's like, hey, so there's I don't know what that maybe because when you're babies, you're not supposed to be watching or doing certain things. We're very cautious about, like, well, you're this old, that this is not appropriate for you. It may be appropriate for your older cousin, blah, blah, blah. So he's like giving him a list of all of the t-shirts that he has. He's like, I have a Toy Story 4 t-shirt. Is that appropriate for the baby? I have a Marvel's t-shirt. Are superheroes appropriate for the baby? Like, he didn't want to expose the baby to anything that the baby wasn't ready to be exposed, and he's ready to part with, like, even t-shirts that may not be okay with the baby, if that's what's necessary, because that's the idea. We're doing this for them, and in the process we are being blessed with this little person that we don't even know, with the family that we're gonna get to love, on the biological family that we're gonna get to love them for the time that we have these kids in our home. We're in this as a family. We're in this as a project that we're gonna do together to help somebody else. And even the kids are picking up, and they're like, hey, what are we gonna do? Michael's stashing like little toys the bigger toys that are for more toddlers, he's stashing them away, like, this is gonna be for the baby. I'm so glad I chose this from the store because it's gonna be for the baby. And it's been fun to see them even before the baby stepped foot into our home. He or she, the first one, may not even be born yet, and yet there's this whole big loving family, not wishing, because that is something that I do want to touch on this video, which is foster care and adoption is born from pain, is born from loss, abuse, neglect. These children are not kids that are so lucky. It's not like when you're expecting your baby for home and you're can't wait to see them. We're not doing this saying, oh my gosh, can't wait for a child to need to be ripped out of their home and need to be placed into care. It's not in that sense. It's from the if and when this happens, this child we're gonna give him the best experience possible within the situation, so that
you were talking to your friend. That's why you're saying that, because you're talking to a friend recently who mentioned that and said, oh, these children that are going to come into your home are so lucky to be coming into your home. And I think that her intention wasn't to say that they were lucky to be in the foster care system or to be going through what they're going through, because in a lot of cases they're being removed from their families, and that is an extremely traumatic and extremely difficult, extremely impactful moment in their life. So they're not lucky in any sense of the word in any sense to be going through that. But what I think she meant was that at least they're going to go to people that are going to love them.
And they're gonna be safe. Yeah. And I do take that as that. But never, and this is just like a little tip, never tell a child, or if you meet somebody, oh, you're so lucky to be with them, because the reality is that no, they're not. They went through a lot of hard things to land in this new family. And two, we are ripping benefits of this. Our houses being in order, our kids are learning to be selfless, we are enjoying each other, we have a common goal and purpose right now, and this is really uniting our family. And there's things to be there. There's a blessing in serving others. So
Right.
we are blessed.
Right.
We are blessed that God gets to use us in this way to bring
Right.
reconciliation and healing to somebody else. So if
Right.
anybody is blessed or lucky, it's us. It's the family who's given, because it really is a gift to be able to give and to pour into others in
Yeah.
their greatest time of need.
Yeah, and we've seen people pouring into our family, people pouring into our life, God bringing people into our life that are pouring into us spiritually, psychologically, emotionally, financially, with their things as well. Like all of these blessings that are coming on us in order for us to then give to people, and not just hoard it for ourselves. And I think that's a huge thing that we are blessed with. Like, we are lucky to be in this situation. I would say even more than lucky, we are blessed to be in this situation. Like you said, a gift. It's a gift for us to be here and to be receiving all of these things, to then to be able to pour into some people in the most difficult times of their lives and stand in the gap. When I was a kid, one of the summer camp themes for our church was be the bridge. Be the bridge. Love, pray, study, witness. That was it. Be the bridge. And we had T-shirts. Be the bridge. And this is how we are the bridge. This is how we become the bridge. We're bridging. We are standing in the gap. We are bridging one of the most difficult moments for somebody. And to be able to do that and to see the community rally around us has been a huge blessing.
Yeah. It's been beautiful. It's been friends saying, well, I have this clothes for babies. Do you want to take it? It's been, well, I have this, just like, sometimes we get so caught up with all the bad things that are going on in the world and watching the news and all the selfish behaviors and everything in our day-to-day, that we forget that people are good, that people want to help. They just sometimes don't even have they don't know how. And it takes, like, I think there's very few people, even people that we know are struggling and don't have any financial means. Like, they can't say, I'm gonna buy you this or give you that, or what can I help. They're like, I'm gonna tell everyone, what do you need? Do you need a crib? Do you need this? Do you need that? I'm gonna tell everybody I know to see if there's some way or someone that can help you. And that's beautiful, because even if we don't use those things, even if we don't need something, just to know that their heart is to say, you're helping. I may not be able to help at this point with opening my home for children, but I can help support you in this. There's doers and senders, and some people do work and some people send people out and help. And that, seeing that our community rallying around us and saying, oh, we want to help, we want to be a part of this, is amazing.
I like the concept of doers and senders. It's something that we learned in a church that we went to one time with a family member, and they were talking about missions abroad. And they were saying, well, there are people who are doers. They're the ones that are out there, the missionaries on the field, boots on the ground. But then they have people who are helping them on this side, financing the effort, praying for them, sustaining them through these times. So when we say doers and senders, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about, there are people that are doing. In this case, we are the doers in that we're bringing people who are in need into our home. And then there are the senders, the people that are bringing the cribs and the bed sheets and the mattresses and the food and the financial help, in order to help and rally around these people. So they're sustaining us, but not just that, the people that are praying for us.
Yeah.
The amount of prayer that we've been receiving in this time has grown exponentially. So we're definitely like Moses, holding our hands up, but he wasn't holding his hands up alone.
Yep.
You know.
That's right there. I mean, I ran a mirror.
Yeah.
Okay. So I love that. And also the phone calls and people, I received several texts today. Hey, because we had our first home study, like I said earlier, and there were people texting, how did it go? Is everything okay? What do you need now? What are the next steps? And that's amazing as well. So that just to be a takeaway for you. Like if you bumped onto this video, it's not by chance. Like
Right.
there may be somebody in your life who's going through something, whether that's foster care or anything else, where you can step in next to them and help cheer them on and help with whatever you can, whether that's a listening ear telling you, I'm praying for you, I'm praying for your family. And that's in anything, that's a blessing. And
Yeah.
in doing that for them, you're also growing, and just it's so fulfilling to do something
Yeah.
for somebody else other than you. For a while, the transition to moving, we recently moved to the state, and it's hard to leave
Good old Florida.
everything and everyone you know and change everything. Yes, we came to live closer to family, but it was hard. It was hard, the transition. And for a while, it was a lot of wallowing and in self-pity. And oh my gosh, this is hard and difficult, and I miss this, I miss that. And our kids were also depressed and crying, and I miss
Maybe
this and
we
that.
make
And
that video one day and we talk about the transition of how we ended up here in Florida in the first
Yeah.
place.
Yep, that'd be great. So with that, like what has gotten us out as a whole family is to look outwardly and stop thinking of what was or what could have been or where we thought we would be or all these things, and just focus on, okay, so we're here now, how can we help? And just that. God, what do you want us to do right now? God, what's the next step? And just taking it, as
That's
scary
so
as
powerful. We are not where we wanted to be, but here we are, Lord. What can you do with us here? And so powerful, because you're going to find yourselves in seasons in your life where you are not where you thought you would be, you are not where you prayed to be, and you are not where you want to be. And still getting on your knees and praying, God, here I am, send me. I may not be where I want to be, I may not have asked for this, I may not have wanted to be here in the first place, I would not have dreamed of being here, but here I am, send me. And that's where we are. And really we've been blessed beyond measure. And I think that just stepping out, whether you're comfortable or not, whether it's convenient or not, stepping out and saying, use me, Lord. We've seen God's hand, I think, in such a powerful and pronounced and real way.
And in a way that we wouldn't have seen it otherwise. So
No.
if right now you are in the pit of despair and you're like, what is this? And this is not what I thought life would be for whatever reason, just take that. You can still go. He can still do something. He wants to do something. There's still purpose for your life. And he still wants to be, he is there with you because he never leaves you. But there is purpose for you, and there's a path out. And he will show that to you. Just get on your knees, ask, and he will. I mean, pray. I'm saying get on your knees, but I'm saying pray. You can pray on your
Right.
knees, standing, sitting. However,
Yeah.
pray to God, reach out to him, call out to him, and he's going to be there for you. To close, let's see. Let's get to know each other through this a little bit. What is one thing that you are afraid of when it comes to this journey of foster care?
Well, for me,
Just
it's the fear of whether I'll be a good father to children who are not mine, or not biologically mine. That's a fear that I have. That I'm good at being a father to my. I've learned to be a good father, and I guess that's the answer right there. But I've learned to be a good father to my children through observation, trial and error. But I'm afraid that if we have kids coming in and kids leaving, that I wouldn't be able to be a good father to them. The moment that's my fear. What about you?
My fear is, and I'm willing for it to be so, to be very heartbroken when it's time for them to go. Like, I wish that every child that will come, like, that I'll never have to say goodbye, and hopefully, maybe we could stay in contact or whatever, but whatever it may be, like, I'm afraid that knowing that they were okay and then being happy for them won't be enough to help my heart break. Because I know I'm gonna be heartbroken when they go,
Yeah.
But what gets me through is in our very first training, that was what was addressed, and there was an ending quote from a foster mother who said that she is okay with her heart being broken so that their heart can heal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow. Like if I, the way, to me that's Christianity. To me that is being Christ-like, because he literally had his heart broken, his body bruised, battered, and killed to the point of death, so that we can be reinstituted with our heavenly family, so that we could be one again with God, so that we can have a chance at life.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, I felt that day that was answered. And yes, I'm nervous and I'm afraid of the pain, but that won't keep me from saying hello and enjoying seeing that little person thrive, and hopefully go back to a healthier situation and thrive in life. So
Wow.
and to close on a good note, what's something that you can't wait for?
I knew she was going to ask that.
for?
I knew she was going to ask that. So I was thinking, what am I most excited about? I'm most excited about finding out who these people are, and then pouring into them. I know it's going to sound funny because it's similar to what I'm afraid of, but being a father to them, a father to the fatherless. That's the call, and I feel a great burden to fathering, or being a father to people that don't have fathers, because I felt that huge gap in my life growing up, and I feel that with the opportunity to do so, I want to be that for other kids. So, support them, to be strong for them, to lead them to Christ, to lead them to God, to be an example, and to teach them, dad stuff. Let me show you how to use a tool. Let me show you how to solve these problems. Let me show you how to lead your family, and just pour into them. So that's what I'm most excited about. I'm excited to get to know these little guys or little girls, and yeah, right. I mean, it could be who knows who is going to come into our home.
If you're new to our channel, we have boys. I don't even think I know how to be a mom to a girl.
Two boys. Yeah.
If we do get little girls, I'm excited to see you with a little girl. I'm most excited about cuddling and snuggling, and mentoring another mama, on how to be the best mom that she can be to her babies, and hopefully seeing some families reunite. That's really what I'm looking forward to. That's it for now. I hope you like the content. I hope that you enjoyed as much as I did my very favorite guest. And we'll see you soon in another video. Like and share if you liked it and you think it's worth sharing. Have a great, blessed day.
Ta-ta.
Bye.